Cake baking bears no resemblance to making soup. All those powders and so much measuring. And I do not understand the flavor. Soups can be sweet, so why can't cakes be savory? I am dry with vexation. Excuse the smell, but you must deal with it. Boiled fish for today's soup. I do not trust a fish soup if it does not waft in all directions. I will admit, though, that this one is particularly pungent. Soup for everyone. Soon, soon. 2 kinds today, but you must eat both. There is no choosing one over the other. Mostly because I still had to cook them in the same pot. I really should look into purchasing another cooking vessel. I prefer not to be watched while I cook. A watched pot never boils, and a watched cook always becomes cross. Well, yes, I am always cross, but I can become much crosser if you vex me. Jubilee cake? What about Jubilee soup? I could make something just as worthy of celebration. Soups are perfect for large parties, as long as you have a big enough ladle. I really must talk to them about this obvious oversight in the menu. Stews are not the same as soups. Anyone who insinuates such a claim adds insult to their ignorance. They are as different as dragonflies and hackwings. I do not make stew. Some ask me why I do not make slurry, or pies, or haggis. My name is not Makes Many Pies, is it? Soups come in many different flavors, and none of them are boring. I once met a Nord who asked if I would make a soup with mead. By the egg, I thought them mad. But once I perfected the recipe, it turned out delicious. Now, don't go getting any ideas. I still hate taking requests. A good soup is like a lake. The surface may be rife with activity, but the true greatness lies underneath. The surface is just the introduction. Get to know the flavors before you take the plunge. And if... Many soups can come from a single broth. Swamp eel broth goes well with vegetables, fish, meat, and maggots. But not Horker. Never Horker. I am not a personal chef. I do not take orders. I'm an artist. I make the soup I want to make. No more, no less. If you do have a special request, leave a note, and maybe I will consider it for next time. Maybe. Someone said one of my soups made them ill. As if that were a possibility. My soups provide sustenance and cure illnesses. No one ever got sick from eating my soup. And certainly no one has ever died. At least, no one I know about. My soups are works of art. They aren't meant for the hungry or the curious. Such masterpieces are destined for true connoisseurs. For those who can truly appreciate my skills and talent. In other words, this soup isn't for you. Today I make crawdad tails in a salt rice-infused broth. Very salty, but not very wriggly. Some soups wriggle, some do not. Someday I hope to have my own place, where I can have more than one pot to cook in. More pots, more soup. When I was small, I made soup in mud puddles with the wings of flies. I have since grown as a cook. While mud has its place and flies do add a lovely texture, my palette of ingredients has increased. Flies do add the perfect amount of crunch, though. A fellow provisioner and passionate about food, too. We must exchange recipes. My soups and I could use a fresh perspective. Not too fresh, mind you. I wouldn't want to do anything crazy. Celebrations like the anniversary jubilee inspire me. Seeing others enjoy food makes me happy, but they should be eating soup. I have already created 6 new recipes. Would you like to hear me list all the ingredients? Another time, perhaps. No, you cannot have bread or crackers with my soups. A good soup does not need it. The flavor should speak for itself. My soups do not need elaboration, substitution, or additional components in order to be enjoyed. I seem to be going through ingredients more quickly than I anticipated. Is 5 soups a day too many soups? No, of course not. What a ridiculous question. The secret to being an expert provisioner and cook? Never let your cooking burn. Most other mistakes can be corrected, but a scalded soup just tastes bad. Not that I've ever burned a soup. Never happened.